My name is Hamlett Dobbins, and the piece is called Untitled for M.R.M, J.N, D.G.G. So the painting has three series of initials, or a series of three sets of initials. And so the painting itself is about a magical experience. All my paintings are about a magical experience, an experience that for whatever reason gives me what my friend David calls a whole body pleasure. And it's where the little bits of hair on the back of your neck sort of stand up and you feel a tingling. And those moments for me are really rare. Those moments happen maybe once a month. They happen, and when they happen, I try to hold that moment. I try to understand that moment and try and figure out what it was about that moment that moved me to begin with. And it could be something like standing up late, eating tater tots and drinking whiskey with my abrasive friend Dylan, or it could be hanging out on the back porch having a tea party with my little girl. And so the initials make reference to the particular people. Many years ago, my paintings stopped being about places necessarily, or about other things, and they started to focus on these moments that I had with individual people. And so when the paintings come together sort of in the early stages of the process, what I do is I bring together these particular moments. It could be one moment that begins with something that happened with one person, and then maybe it grows to also connect to something that happened with another person, or maybe that would maybe rhyme a little bit with something that had happened elsewhere. And it's kind of like, if you know any people who are crazy about cacti, so sometimes you'll see, if you go to a cactus show, you'll see how there's one cactus, and then cacti people love to like chop off the top of that cactus and then take another cactus that's totally different and then jam it on the top of that cactus, and somehow they live. It's this magical chimera hybrid thing, and some of the juices in seeing how those two totally different cacti live together. And so for me in the studio, what I try to do is I try to take these moments and then I jam them together, and I try to figure out how those moments for me relate to one another, and then also how I can turn that magic moment, that moment that moved me so much to begin with, what it was about that moment that made me want to get off the couch and go to the studio and make a thing. And so these paintings for me are a way for me to reflect on those magic moments, a way for me to concentrate on these things that are so rare. And when I can concentrate on them, and I can come in and I can take that time and wrap myself in that moment, for me it's a really powerful thing, and it's a way for me to connect myself to the world. And so for me, painting is what builds that bridge between these everyday experiences and then the rest of the people in the world.